Hello and welcome back to the Porn Addiction Recovery Specialist podcast by the Beyond Compulsion Academy. We are helpers here. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about hating yourself during your porn addiction. So I think most guys at some point have some self-deprecating thoughts and they hate themselves during their porn addiction recovery. And this is common. You know, you can have thoughts like, there's something wrong with me. My life is so bad. I'm still stuck in this place. I will be this way for the rest of my life. I am such a failure. I am disgusting. I have done some bad things in the past. And you may have some self-deprecating thoughts about the kind of content you've looked at in the past as well. All of that's common. I've had all these thoughts before as well when I was in the porn addiction. So if you're having these kind of thoughts, just know you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. And this is actually part of the addiction in many ways, which I'm going to get into today. And hopefully this can kind of shed a light on a part of addiction which not many people talk about. If you would like to learn how the Beyond Compulsion Academy can help you change your own neural pathways, take the compulsion test, and I can give you a call. So there'll be a link to that below. Just want to put that out there for anyone who listens to this, maybe resonates and wants to get involved and learn the same method that's helped me rewire my addictive neural pathways. So, self-deprecation. It is a strategy from the addicted part of the mind. The addicted part of the mind is going to say these kind of things, and that is very natural. But the good news is that you are not your addiction. Like, you are not just the addicted part of the mind. Like, it's a part of your mind, sure, of course, but this isn't like the only you. Like, you're here listening to me, and I'm trying to talk to you about how to put the rational mind back in control, because that is the other part of your mind. So the chances are it's rational you who wants to stop this behaviour. So a part of you wants to keep engaging, and it's going to have this self-deprecation, because if it can get you feeling terrible about yourself, you know, it's going to get you to try and relapse, and we'll talk about that more throughout this video. But there's another part of your mind which obviously wants to stop and doesn't really feel like there is anything inherently wrong with you necessarily. You know that, you know, there's other areas to your life. Maybe you got some friends, family, you're in a relationship, you know, you look after some children. You got all this stuff going on, career, you know, business, you're volunteering, you're doing good shit in your life. So, you know, rational you is very separate to the addicted part of you. And that's why we always like distinguish and make this distinction between the different parts. We don't see people just as their addiction. Like, that would be such a judgmental, horrendous way to look at people. Instead, we separate things by understanding that there are different parts within the mind. So I want to talk a little bit about my own experience of having self-deprecating thoughts and where it led me. So back in 2023, in March, I was on a few dating apps, and I did all right at first, like in terms of like going on quite a few dates and getting with a few women and whatnot. But back then I was deep in a porn addiction. And what happened is like the dates dried up, and I stopped going on these dates, stopped having like matches and stuff. And I was on these dating apps in a very compulsive way. And I kind of had this moment where I was like, this is so annoying. Like, all these women are rejecting me. And it was quite like a red pill sort of mindset to have. It was very, very unhealthy, as I say. I was in a porn addiction back then. And I was like, I need to make a change. I'm sick of this. You know, I'm so like messed up. I need to like transform everything. And I went and spent £2,000 on a fitness transformation program with a company called Ultimate Performance in Manchester. And then over the next 6 weeks, I got in a little bit of a better physical shape. Not like amazing physical shape at all, but I got in a bit of a better physical shape, learned a lot of exercises at the gym, learned what kind of foods to supposedly eat. And I was also on like a crazy extreme calorie deficit. That transformation in terms of my physical appearance didn't even last long anyway, because I was in a compulsion, so I ended up just eating a shit ton of food afterwards. But this is kind of where self-deprecation can lead you. Like, when you're in a porn addiction and things get really bad and like you relapse and you have all this like self-hatred, you can like get in your head and like try and solve the wrong problem. And then you're like, I need to like transform my whole life and do like a $2,000 fitness transformation, which was really stupid in hindsight. And like, it doesn't really get you anywhere because you still end up with addictive neural pathways. So I just wanted to point that out. So what's actually going on with these thought patterns? Well, as I say, they're coming from the addicted part of the mind. And if you think about it, they always lead you somewhere. So it's almost like the thought pattern is really like, there is something wrong with me, so ... And then it's like, my life is so bad. So, ... I'm still stuck in this place. So, ... I will be this way for the rest of my life. So, ... I am such a failure. So, ... I am disgusting. So, ... I have done bad things in the past. So, ... So, watch porn. You know, that's where it leads. Like, this is why we have these self-deprecating thought patterns. The addicted part of the mind doesn't really care about you. It just wants you to relapse. It just wants you to watch more porn. So it's going to try pull any kind of bullshit on you that it can. So you're going to have self-deprecating thoughts. You're going to be asking yourself like, oh, why am I such a failure? Why have I messed up in life? Oh, this is the way I am. This is who I am, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have those kind of thoughts. And they serve a purpose. They serve the purpose of getting the addicted part of the mind to get you to relapse once again. That's all it wants, 24/7. That's its job. So give the addicted part of the mind some credit. Well done, addicted part of the mind. Nice little tactic, good strategy, good idea, mate. However, you're not going to fool me because I understand this strategy. All right, so what we do nowadays, myself and my clients, if we have self-deprecating thoughts, we see it for what it is. You know, 9 times out of 10, it is the addicted part of the mind. In fact, like 99% of the time, at least, it will be the addicted part of the mind. And even if it's not, even using a script in those moments is going to be useful. So for literally any self-deprecation, me and my clients would really recommend people use their scripts. Like, we would recommend ourselves and each other, like, hey man, like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, I know you're having a lot of self-deprecating thoughts here. Just go use the script. And like, I've heard guys on our group calls basically advise each other like, oh yeah, like, you're having self-deprecating thoughts, just go use your script and like, you're going to be good. Like, that's all you need to do. Because what the script does, it gets you back in the present moment to help you see that right now in this moment you have a choice, and that's all you need to do is like make a choice in this moment. And really our lives are just a series of choices, like moment by moment. So once you're equipped with a way to make good rational choices moment by moment, there's nothing really to deal with, like in terms of all the self-deprecation. You just see it as all like a bullshit sort of strategy, which is trying to get you to do something with really like severe consequences. So there's nothing to worry about anymore, which is awesome. And you don't like need to buy into all of this. Most guys, however, will probably go to like therapy or something for this and just go around in circles trying to solve the wrong problem, when really these are just symptoms of being in an addiction. And once you solve the addiction and you know how to deal with these thoughts, you don't even really have these thoughts anymore, and you're just like good, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, different perspective. Hopefully this helps someone. And yeah, if you're struggling with porn addiction and you have a lot of self-deprecation, no, it's natural. It's to be expected. Like literally everyone I work with pretty much has these thoughts at some point. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a strategy to try and get you to relapse, which is great because once you know how to deal with any strategy to try and get you to relapse, you just use that strategy and crack on, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And yeah, if you're struggling with porn addiction, as I say, go take the compulsion test and I'll give you a call if you leave your number there and you want me to give you a call. We can have a little chat, see if you'd like to learn more about the Beyond Compulsion Academy. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.